how to immediately tell if someone is mucho depresso or mucho espresso, as you can see here. Let me circle that so you get some extra emphasis on that joint. This is a very important point. Mucho depresso here or mucho espresso. We want to find people who are mucho espresso because folks who are mucho espresso are going to be really happy to talk to you, and you'll be happy to talk to them, and you both just like, you can both be givers, and you just grow together in a spiral of wins. When someone's mucho depresso in their whole life-o, then all you're going to get is you giving them energy and then feeling tired afterward the entire time you guys hang out. Why does this matter? Because this is a one question personality test. In this video, I'm gonna show you to tell if someone's mindset is mucho espresso or mucho depresso. I'm trying to get this part in your brain. Second, why it's important, because we're trying to build businesses and we want to choose business because we want freedom. That's why we keep coming back, because we have the ability to control our time, to work on projects that are interesting to us and allow us to reach those goals and life experiences we're actually searching for. So, you need to know people to make sure your life is not shitty. And that's why we're doing business in the first place. So on the path of a 22-year-old who left his academic scholarship where he had a 4.0 GPA, and the reason why I got it was not because of some amazing gift to memorize or to work. It was mostly because I just understood my teachers. And I sat there and I analyzed their micro expressions and I learned what made them happy to see me. And when I had bad teachers, I could compensate because one, I knew they were mostly attached to me, and then two, I was able to maneuver in a way that allowed me to get what I needed without being punished by them being frustrated with me because they were bad teachers to begin with. Not because of some genius IQ or something like that. Pop the Zen out. Okay, next. Backstory. So, this idea came to mind when I was on a car ride with my friend. We were actually going to a major buffet. A buffet is a spot where a lot of blue-collar workers go because the price of the food is low and you get a bunch of food, right? And you walk in there and you're gonna see a bunch of mucho depresso because these people are working the hardest jobs on the planet and most likely not getting paid very much money compared to the work they're putting in. Like a CEO is gonna be working, but these guys are putting in like physical labor. So like they come into this spot and they're not usually very energetic. You can feel that in the air. It's another reason why we're trying to be around people who are mucho espresso, which is why I'm here at the top of a hotel in a city. You can see there's a crazy view over there. I'll show you in a bit. So, we were in the car ride and it was raining on the way to this buffet of people full of mucho depresso. And I said to my friend, I love the rain. He said to me, bro, no one says that. I love the rain too. And it led us to both find the question, why does no one say that? Why does no one think that way, right? And the breaking point happened when my mind started running. There's a gear right here. This is a gear for my brain running. And I had two thoughts that came into my brain of examples of situations that apply to this mindset. People who don't see value in the rain, right? Number one, I had a mountain trip it was a program that I was in that I got in because I had insane academic achievements. And on this program, the first week you're on the campus or like in the first onboarding section, you have to go to this mountain range, you have to leave your phone in a box, and you go as a group, as a cohort, into the freaking woods, and you spend like a week there with a guide, and you're sleeping in hammocks, sleeping in like a camping bag, and you're just walking through the mountains. You gotta poop in the woods, you gotta shower out there. You don't even, actually I take it back, you don't even shower for the whole week, you're just in the woods, right? And it rained, we had to set up like tents, we had to sleep like 3 people per tent. It was genuinely a bonding experience, but it just showed you the mindsets of people. I was so excited to walk up and down that mountain range. I was so fulfilled just looking out and seeing the clouds and the trees and the animals running by. It was insane to me, just a livid experience. Of course I was frustrated at times, but I was only really like majorly frustrated when other people were in mucho depresso mindset. It would rain, I would adapt, I would move faster, I would pack my bag, I'd be ready to go, I'd make sure I was ready to go every morning, and people would just like start to quit. Like one dude even like just decided like, oh, frick this, I'm gonna go walk backwards. Nothing against him, he's an amazing guy, he's mucho espresso now, but on the trip, it got mucho depresso, and it might not have been his fault. I don't blame him at all, but I only got frustrated because I was like, he's gonna stop walking or walking in the rain? I was like, ugh, right? W Mans, by the way, if you ever see this video, he's still a W Mans. And I, like, honestly, I can't imagine my experience in college being anything different with him. But at the same time, though, I got frustrated. I was mad. But also, I was prepared too. So then again, I was healthy enough to prepare for the trip. So I had been doing football and all this stuff. So the second piece is, so my bad. Back to the first piece. The moral of that story was looking back on it. In the program, we continued on, and everyone looked back on this situation like a terrible experience. And they were actually frustrated with me because I was sitting there like, that was the greatest trip ever. I would go again. I wanted to go with the next groups that went on the trip, honestly. And it was mostly because of a positive mindset. They had the same inputs as I did, the same ability to see the situation as I did, most of them at least. Now, some of them did have complications, but the point is, most of it was just mindset, right? And looking back on it, the only thing that changed my perspective on the situation was, one, I was prepared a bit more, but also, I was mucho expresso. So, number 2, seasonal depression makes me angry. When I heard of this concept, it literally blew my brain. Like, it rains outside and you can't leave your house because you're sad of the rain, or you're sad because of this thing. It's not sunny all of a sudden and you're just ready to kill yourself. When I heard this happen, and I tell you I did not understand, like, I almost crashed out the first time I heard this happen. And I think it signals a mind that's just unable to adapt. Like, if it's not sunny, if everything is not 100% how you think it should be or how it is usually, then you're crashing out. What does that mean? 1, unadaptable, and 2, negative mindset. And we can't have that around us, and we can't be that way if we want to have a life we enjoy, because it's not about happiness, it's about fulfillment. And fulfillment comes from the progress toward the goals. And you can't make progress if you're not adaptable. So, like, I'm not saying this to preach, I'm talking to myself a lot. I'm just trying to, like, figure out how to move forward. And every time I've had a hard time moving forward or being happy in general, is because I refuse to accept reality for what it was. I refuse to look at myself and reflect on what I had in a way that was gratitude filled. And I had to just deal with that shit. And being mucho expresso is a part of that process. Next, the value. So now that you know what being mucho depresso and mucho expresso does for your life and how to avoid them, what's the actual question? I mentioned it earlier. The question is, do you like the rain? Especially if it's the opposite of what they're used to. So here in NC, it's usually sunny, North Carolina. So if it's raining all the time, then of course I like the rain. And then maybe it's the snow that messes them up. Ask them about a situation that is different than what they're used to, and ask them, do they like it or do they hate it? How do they feel on those days? And if they give you, now neutral responses are okay, but if it's a super negative response, more than likely their brain is mucho depresso, and you don't want to have mucho depresso in your life. You can have them around, but the point is, you're trying to surround yourself with folks who are going to make you stronger, and you can make them stronger, so you both can do a spinning whirlwind of success. That's what I'm trying to get to, you know? So I'm asking myself this at the same time as talking about other people, and there's times where maybe it was some productivity hack or some morning routine that I was just waiting for it to happen, or I had to have it a certain way and I couldn't move. And I'm trying my best to remove all of those. One example of this was notes apps. I had like 8 or 9 different like little toggles, like this is one of them, Freeform. And then I had another one that was called Nebo. I had another one that was called like a little notebook that I used to write in when I had fun when I was younger. It was like a little notebook that I used to draw in. And I was like, I can only take notes if I have these notebooks. But the real rule, the principle is, if you have inspiration, you have to capitalize on the inspiration. So if I wasn't capitalizing on inspiration because of the medium I was writing in, out of some like arbitrary rule based upon the sun being shiny or my notebook being aesthetic, then when it rained or my notebook wasn't what I thought it should be, I would lose the idea. I would lose the inspiration I was given by God, by the universe. And that's just like 1, entitled, 2, mucho depresso, and unadaptable. So we ask ourselves, do you like the rain? And ask yourself, do you like the rain? And if you don't, you're probably cooked. And if you're cooked, you gotta learn how to be positive. So in order to be positive, I made a separate video on that earlier on this channel. But if you want more about that, put in the comment section, and we'll talk more about how to have a positive mindset. So I'm learning this skill at the same time as you guys, and everything I learned, I'm gonna share. So this is a journey too. I guess it's about me too, just if you wanna stay. I'm 22 right now, this is Future Rick. If you watch this, you'd be excited to hear it. I am currently about to move into my first like actual lease agreement. I'm gonna be there for 10 months. I gotta sign a contract in the next few days, and I've been sleeping in my car for a while, honestly, which is crazy. I've been seeing my girlfriend every Saturday, even though I was like in a situation where I wasn't sleeping in like a house. And the whole time I've been working on business stuff, and it's been tough. Like recently I've had arguments with my parents, with people that love me about what my life path should be. And honestly, I'm just grateful, you know? But it's definitely been a journey that was definitely harder. I've learned about myself. I've learned where I was entitled. I took this personality test like when I was in school still. And that test told me I had like maxed out entitlement pretty much with every paradigm you could. And I didn't believe it. I put it aside, of course, because I was entitled. And I took it again just for fun, and all of them dropped down. And I think it was mostly because of my ability to just try things, right? Like I didn't care what it took. I just kind of went and figured it out, you know? I knew what I wasn't gonna do, and I knew what I wanted to do outcome-wise. Of course, my pursuit of the outcomes have changed as I got smarter. I got more, as I reflected on what I did wrong. But it's been a weird time. All I've got now is pretty much just backpack behind me and some clothes in a car. And I'll be getting a mattress soon, which is really exciting. And I'm building this community where I teach people how to do Instagram. So I'm excited about that. I have a group of probably 6 to 7 clients in this group, and I'm gonna scale this info product to, the goal is 1 million a year in revenue, and I think we can hit that for sure, based upon how our progress is going right now. And then from there to build probably some more cash flow in that business, and then we're gonna shoot for the $100 million play. So right now we're going to cash flow, low risk business, because I can keep testing and learning my sales skills until it works. And then I'm gonna roll that cash flow over into a more risky endeavor. Right now I love van conversion. It's just like a super interesting thing for me. I've always love the idea of having like a Mercedes Sprinter van just driving around. I drove with my girlfriend up to the beach one day, like pretty much on a whim, and also from advice from, you know, her parents. They're really cool. And he was like, pretty much enjoy the time you have, you know, you gotta go, right? It's helpful for your brain too to like combine movement and thinking. There is no lock in, like the monk mode is just not real, especially for me. So with that in mind, I found out I love driving and I love spending time with her, and it's a really fun experience. So looking back on this, that's where I'm at right now. Today is, today's actually August 8th, and it's 4 or 5 p.m. I'm gonna go build the rest of my upsell funnel next. I built the landing page, I built the base of the upsell funnel, and now I'm building the second upsell page in half the first one, west left. And from there, we're gonna focus on traffic, and we're gonna use content for my own page, combine that with whatever works to paid content, and then we're gonna reach out to a bunch of micro influencers with a similar target market to who we're selling to. And then from there, we're gonna scale our info product. So I'm excited about it. See you soon. Wow.